Welcome everybody to Photo with Novo. I think that's what I called this channel. Here, this is the sign that makes it official. What I'm going to be talking about today is backup solutions for photographers, focusing especially on network attached storage, or otherwise known as NAS. And why am I in my kitchen, you might be wondering? Well, that is just where my knife is that I can open up the boxes with a little bit easier. So let's do the unboxing, the setup, and see exactly how it all works.
So let's start with the question of why we're doing this. And that is because I've seen a lot of photographers take sort of more complicated routes or more familiar routes. I have a little bit of a background in tech. I come from the IT world, and I've seen just photographers like hooking up individual drives and backing up like independently of everything. So one simple solution is a NAS, network attached storage. And you can pretty much write from wherever you like. You can write from, you can write from a PC, you can write from a Mac, all at the same time. So there's no reason you can't even like share files, because like the PC can go here and then the files can end up there. For our purposes today, we are just going to be using this as a backup, but there are many other ways that you can use a NAS. You can use it as a media server, plenty of options out there. So let's focus in on the backup portion of it.
First off, let me show my current solution, which has been two standalone Western Digital MyCloud drives. Essentially, I just use them for backup. And if you're wondering, well, that's not very safe. What happens if disaster strikes this area here and it all catches on fire, especially with the quantity of wires that we have here? Well, I do back up to an additional drive that sits off site, so no worries there. Actually, two drives, and they rotate between the two. So that's the current solution. These drives are being discontinued. They do have a home version. You can tell these are the rounded ones of the home. The new home version, which doesn't get as good of a review, is square. So that is what I'm going to be replacing with a different system also from Western Digital.
Okay, so we just got our drives. And yes, indeed it is. And boom, MyCloud. That is what we're going to be working with today. Two drives inside. And I'm going to have two additional 4 terabyte drives that are going to be backed up to be taken offsite. This says 8 terabyte. I believe that this is 4 terabyte in each drive, though, for a total of 8. So I think you actually lose half your space. So do keep that in mind when you are ordering your own drives. Let's go over my actual workflow from the very start to the finish. We start off with that I shoot on dual cards always. So currently I'm on a Nikon D810, has a CF and SD card. Will not shoot on a camera with one card slot, because it's not that I'm worried as much about the full card going bad, but just one or two of the key images that I'm looking for that will be corrupted, and I have had that happen. Once I'm done with the shoot, images get loaded onto my laptop. I pretty much do all of my editing just on one single laptop. And at that time, or shortly thereafter, I'm usually backing up to the NAS, which currently I'm using Western Digital MyCloud. Again, there's a number of options out there, so feel free to research whichever one you feel is the best fit for you. I keep one memory card at the studio so that I've always got a backup of the RAW somewhere else, and that card I keep until the edit is complete. I have plenty of cards that will keep me going. I'll also back up the NAS files to an external hard drive as well. And so essentially what I'm doing is, let me grab my brush tool here, is what I'm taking, I've got drive 1 and drive 2, let's say, and one drive might be at home, the other one's at the studio, and so I'll back one up about once a week or so. I know that I should do it more often, but I kind of circulate them so that I do have some offsite in case something happens at home with my backup. And then, of course, I've got the high-resolution JPEGs, which get uploaded to SmugMug once I'm done editing. And it's once this upload is done and I've got the final files, that's usually the time where I will take and reuse that card. And if I'm not going to be doing anything further with those images, then I'm going to be removing them from the laptop. But essentially, I still have a copy on both of the NAS drives because I've got two here, and then I've got the images on two drives that are circulating and going offsite. So I still have 4 different spots where the images are backed up aside from the online SmugMug gallery. Through the magic of the internet, everything is connected. I went ahead and unplugged my previous Western Digital drives and plugged in the new one. And just simply, there were no discs or anything like that came with it, or no USB drive. So I simply just searched for MyCloud EX2 setup. It may be different for you if you end up going with some other NAS or backup. And it says on Windows that you should go here to MyCloud EX2 Ultra. This is actually local, so you have to have it plugged in. If you try to do this without the drive plugged in, you will get nothing for this site. So I'll just go through the setup. And I will skip the password for now. I usually have the auto update firmware on product improvement program. That is up to you whether you would like to partake in that. Once we're set up and ready to go, then you will need to download the Western Digital MySmartware software. That will let you actually select which folders you want to be backed up. We'll click on the MyCloud EX2. It just shows up as a single drive. Remember, it is by default configured as a RAID 1. I will click on backup, and then I will select what I would like backed up. In my case, I store everything on the D drive from my documents to all of my client galleries. I will set the backup frequency. It can be continuous. I typically schedule mine for once a day. And then you finish that off with clicking Enable Backup. If you have an additional drive plugged in, which I bought an additional drive, you can see it right here. It's just a Seagate portable external USB drive. This drive will get cycled with another drive and rotate offsite. So you can create those jobs in the web browser. Simply go to Backups, USB Backups, create the job, and then give it a title. We're going to go from NAS to USB. We will back up the smartware folder. This is where I'm going to set my backups to be. And it's going to go into the destination folder, which is going to be the portable USB drive. In fact, let's just go ahead and do that. So let's give it a proper title then. We'll call this USB 1, and this will be for 2019. Drive's okay. I'm going to have it synchronize, and the real difference is there's some information here, but the synchronize means that files will be overwritten. So for example, if I edit a PSD file a number of times, whatever the latest copy is what's going to be overwritten. We will auto start when connected, create that job, and we should be good to go. So while that creates, if you like this video, feel free to leave some feedback as to what you would like to hear about in the future. And I would be happy to take a look at some additional tech topics for you. Again, the production value, everything, hopefully we'll start kicking it up a little bit one day. But just for now, I want to get some information out to folks so that you can start actually applying some of it. And in the meantime, I am Michael Novo, and this is Photo with Novo. Thanks so much.